Now, no fewer than 60 bird strike incidents have been recorded among the Nigerian Airlines alone in the first 10 months of 2023. This is also learned that the airlines lose an estimated $60 million to the bird strike menace annually. These figures, apart from the losses incurred regularly by the airlines from delays and flight cancellations due to the bird strike incidents. According to reports, a majority of the bird strike incidents occurred at the Murtala Muhammed Airport in Lagos. Air Peace remains the airline with the highest number of bird strike incidents in the country, having recorded 26 as at June this year. Aside the issues of bird strike incidents, the Nigerian aviation sector is bedeviled with lots of issues that threaten to halt the development in the industry. To make some sense of this situation and proffer solutions for the Nigerian aviation space, I'm being joined by Jide, a public affairs analyst. It's nice to have you around, Jide.
My pleasure. Good afternoon.
In your own opinion and observation, what are the primary challenges currently facing the Nigerian aviation sector, and how have these obstacles impacted the overall efficiency and safety of air travel within the country?
Yeah, thank you very much for putting the issue in context. The issue of bus strike and weather conditions impact the performance of domestic and foreign airlines, and of course warrant delays and cancellation of flights. But there is a lot of hidden information as to why the customers, the passengers, usually are kept in the dark as to the rationale behind long delays and cancellation of flights. Beyond just telling you for operational reasons, you have documented that there are issues with bird strike. We do know that sometimes the weather situation may warrant delays or cancellations, but these two things should not be the reason why passengers are made to suffer unduly. I was a victim of this last Friday, coming to Abuja from Lagos, where we had over 6 hours of delay, and the flight attendants still told us they will have to take us to Port Harcourt first before bringing us to Abuja. And that's the airline that took people to Asaba the other day, under the guise of bad weather, which has been debunked by the SCA. So my own position is that customers should be treated as king by aviation sector, given the fact that it's about the costless. Air flight is about the costless. Among the different means of transportation. And for people to endeavor to pay this exorbitant fee, they deserve better from our domestic and foreign airlines. Situations where the passenger's bill of rights is not implemented, you cancel flights, there's no provision for how to mitigate the loss that has been incurred by the passenger. Because while it is understandable that the airline operators suffer as a result of bird strikes, as a result of bad weather conditions, we also must put in context what many of the passengers who decide to fly, what they lose, which is in billions of dollars, not even naira. Because for me to buy airline tickets at whatever price they call it, I must have a reason to fly. Now, and when I now book my flight, I arrive at the airport on time, and I have to wait like 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours before the flight takes off. That may have defeated the purpose of my flight.
Now, Jide, let's quickly, yes, Jide, I understand, I tend to understand with you where you're coming from. Let's quickly look at infrastructural decadence within the sector. In your own view, what are the critical measures or reforms that you think should be implemented to address issues of outdated infrastructure, regulatory shortcomings, and of course, operational inefficiencies within the aviation industry?
So there are multiple agencies under the aviation sector. We have the FAA, we have the SCA, we have the NIMET, we have the NAMA and all of that. And there's a need for proper funding of these agencies for them to perform optimally. I also reason that the airlines are being owed money. Their forex that is trapped in central bank is impeding on their operational efficiency. But government has to play its oversight role, and government must also see the possibility of bailing out some of these airlines. It's a private enterprise, but in other climes, irrespective of the fact that it's a private enterprise, I mean, we've seen in America, banks are being bailed out, even though they are private enterprise. We've seen automobile industry being bailed out. So there's nothing wrong with government supporting the aviation sector to perform optimally. Situations where, you know, it seems like only people with private jets now can schedule and fly on time. It's intolerable as far as I'm concerned, because the passengers are being made to go through a lot of traumatic and harrowing experiences, you know, in Nigeria. And this is not good enough. So I'm in full support of improvement of the infrastructure. I mean, in time past, there used to be only one or two airports with double radar or Doppler radar, which enables them to be able to see weather conditions far before they come across it, which has reduced the incidence of wind shear or, you know, the ability to fly in turbulent weather. But there still needs for federal government to invest heavily in the improvement of infrastructure of our airports and also operations of our airlines. Because whether we like it or not, incident that happened to me last week, I was just thinking in my mind, what if somebody has medical emergency and needed to fly so that he or she could go and receive, you know, proper medical attention, and you have to delay him for like 5-7 hours.
Now, Jide,
could die.
Yeah, we understand that these are the issues, of course, surrounding the Nigerian aviation sector. But then moving forward now, how do we make the Nigerian aviation industry successful in terms of profitability, in terms of longevity, and in terms of services being rendered? I just need your response about a few minutes.
I've said it, that there is need for federal government and even the state government to invest heavily in improvement of infrastructure.
Okay.
In other climes, airplanes are still able to fly even if the weather is not too good. I mean, so there are airports in Nigeria where you cannot fly once it's 7 p.m. because there is no proper lighting of the runway. And I know that effort is being made by the federal government to have a second runway for Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport here in Abuja. So there is need to attract private sector funding to improve the infrastructure of our domestic airports and international airports as well. Government alone may not be able to fund it, but at least let government be able to do its own bit, improve the infrastructure, and oversee the performance and activities of our domestic airlines, particularly their sharp practices and malpractices. Some of them, even when there are no issues with bird strike, when there are no issues with weather, they just will delay unnecessarily. There are some airlines that are notorious for delay.
Okay.
There are many of them like that.
Well,
so, and they should rather, if they are not ready to operate, if they don't have the financial wherewithal, they can go into merger. There are some airlines that have been arrested. We used to have airline, we used to have Tatangi airline.
Okay, Jide.
So any one of them that cannot pull resources to operate optimally can as well have their license withdrawn so that safety and security of air passengers is guaranteed.
All right, Jide, thank you so much for your contribution.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
And you too.